Greetings everyone, my name is Napoleon Complex, I go by Ludendorf on the Slytherin forums. Welcome back to the Field of Glory and welcome back to the last round of the Slytherin 20th Anniversary Tournament. My opponent today is DanZanzibar, he is in second place, I am in first, so we are potentially competing for the trophy here, or at the very least for a spot on the podium. And he is playing the Romans, I am playing the Huns, and the other side of the mirror match. Now, the Hunnic list consists mainly of powerful but expensive horse archers, with one unit of armoured horse archers and other units that are only protected. So these units do very, very well at harassing infantry due to their superior stats. They shoot better and thus they can disrupt the infantry quite effectively. And they can also be very effective against enemy medium cavalry. However, I feel that they do suffer against lancers, which the Romans have a lot of, I'll remind you, because they suffer when they receive a shock charge, and as a result they tend to evade out the way from when the enemy is adjacent to them. So they either have to take that shock impact, which risks disrupting or fragmenting them, or they'll be pushed out the way, and it's very likely that they will be caught and then hit in the back. And even if they can disrupt the Lancers can still get into melee with the horse archers and have a chance to rally up. And they can also charge through, force some nomad horse archers to evade, force others to stay and fight, and what you end up with is a completely broken up archer line. And that's why I don't like sending my horse archers against lancers. However, they're very good at overcoming other units, just not the lancers. And of course, the other thing about them is they can be outnumbered by enemy horse archers because they're so expensive. Their superior status doesn't really make up for the fact that they will take pretty hellish fire from large numbers of horse archers, and these small units get disrupted quickly, especially as they start to run out of ammo as well. And because they're so expensive, once the Huns run out of ammo, they become a lot less effective. So that's my view of the fierce nomad horse archers. They're tough and they are good units and they can dominate the battle to begin with, but if they come into contact with lancers, or once they start running out of ammo and start getting outnumbered by enemy horse, or if they can get tied up by the infantry and then cheaper enemy cavalry come around the sides to start attacking them, they start to run out of steam. And the same goes for the expert armoured horse archers, only they're well armoured as well, so they're even tougher. But again, suffer from the same fact that they cost 66 points. Now you can get almost to a unit of cataphracts or a unit of armoured noble lancers for 66 points. And I'd rather take the impact bonus than take these units normally. My strategy is a little bit different today, so I have actually taken the expert armoured horse archers, but normally I wouldn't consider these a better buy than the armoured noble lancers. We do have a decent body of lancers. As you can see, we have access to the noble lancers, which are good, cheap quality lancers. They're excellent for cost-effectively blocking infantry, and they can also hold a cavalry line, while the more heavily armoured noble lancers achieve a breakthrough. Armoured noble lancers are, of course, excellent shock troops. They're great at breaking enemy lancers, and they can also charge into most varieties of even heavy infantry and eventually break them with enough charges. However, they're best kept away from defensive foot, as at 64 points, they really are wasted on most forms of cheap protected infantry of average quality. So, say your defensive spears or your comitatenses, who may be able to resist them. I think the comitatenses actually beat the armoured noble lancers from the front, so they're generally not cost effective when used against heavy infantry. However, if you can aim them at some medium infantry who are out in the open, for example, a good target would be the Roman Auxilia Palatina. Or if you can get them into a really cheap and shaky unit like the Limitani, then they can quickly cause fragmentations and disruptions and break through the enemy line, and then of course they can circle back around and strike. And they can also do the same to any unreliable units of lancers like the noble lancers, who may fragment, and because they have such an advantage on impact, they can also be used to terrorize medium cavalry into evading, and they can get around the lines that way. So these are your breakthrough forces. We have some noble cavalry, cheap flanking medium cavalry, so 44 points, not very expensive. They're basically your average line medium cavalry. and they're best off used out in the open where they can get around the enemy's sides. We have the fierce nomad light horse archers. Now these are interesting because at superior status they can actually shoot better than average horse archers, and so they may be worthwhile using if you want to gain a local advantage. They also have swordsman capabilities that can be quite dangerous even to medium or heavy cavalry if they can charge in from the flanks and maybe attack while the enemy cavalry are occupied, because the swordsman status actually allows them to hold up okay in melee, especially combined with superior status. However, at 48 points, you need to break a heavy unit with them or get a heavy unit into trouble, because these units are too expensive to bring if you're just going to use them to fight the enemy light horse. They will eventually get overwhelmed by large numbers of enemy light horse. Their expensive unit size means that they'll struggle to fill the line of your light cavalry, and as a result they can get outflanked. I generally don't consider them cost effective except for very specialized operations like the one today. We have some cheaper nomad light horse archers to back them up. Now these have neither the increased shooting capability of the fierce nomad light horse archers or the cost effectiveness of the regular light horse archers, so I tend to leave these guys at home. However, again, if you can get them into the flanks of some medium cavalry who are occupied with something else, or if you can use them as the linchpin of your light cavalry line, then they can have some uses, but I generally consider these units to be not very cost effective, and I'd say they're even less cost effective than the fierce nomad light horse archers. We have access to a superior warband, and we have access to a decent number of warbands. Now, my strategy today is quite specialized, and I'm actually planning to use them over here to anchor my line. Now that should give you a clue that I'm not planning a regular battle plan here. But normally these units could be used probably in conjunction with the noble lancers in the center. The Romans have a lot of defensive enemy infantry, and these units are typically used to block enemy cavalry long enough for the powerful Roman cavalry to move around the flank and get the victory. So what I could have tried to use my warbands to do is smash into the Roman defensive infantry and then charge the cavalry through the gaps once the enemy infantry are occupied. Alternatively, infantry occupy a solid line, then the shock. Usually, you might have a strong unit, for example, defending a weak unit. So you might have a unit of Legio Comitatenses guarding units of Limitani standing behind. And so you could occupy the Legium Comitatenses with the Lancers and with the warbands, and then charge at the vulnerable Limitani with the noble Lancers and cause disruptions. And that's how you could break up the enemy infantry line and break through. However, I don't think I can set that up cost effectively and be able to defend against the Roman infantry that I expect to be in the hill, and deal with what I suspect will be a strong Roman cavalry attack coming around the flank. I just don't feel I have the resources today to handle everything the Roman army can throw at us. If we have a look at the Roman army, they have access to warbands and Legio Comitatenses, and they have Auxilia Palatina, all of which can be used to block our cavalry quite effectively. And they can also, to flesh out the line, they can take some cheap noble lancers, and these may be able to block a warband. So if I did try to break through the center, then my opponent could simply move noble lancers up to block. Of course, then I could charge my own lancers, but then we'd be in an infantry battle, so no net advantage to me there. And it's also questionable whether or not my warbands could beat the Legio Comitatenses in prolonged combat. The superior warbands might be able to do it, but the average warbands, I think, would suffer against these heavily armoured Legio Comitatenses, especially considering the fact that they have bows and darts, which I think actually gives them an advantage against the impact foot. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not too familiar with the exact mechanics going on with dart and bow troops, bow 20% troops. But the infantry line isn't my main concern. My main concern is the large force of dangerous Roman cavalry that can be taken. So we'll assume they take some Latani, maybe the archers, and some irregular foot as well to occupy the flanks. I'd say probably about this ratio of troops. Then over here on the rough ground, and remember they had 552 points left. Well, let's see what they can take. So cataphracts, so they can probably take some armored noble lancers. So already that's something that's very dangerous to my horse archers, so that would be over on the left. A good force of flanking Roman cavalry. Probably quite a lot of nomad horse. Some armored horse archers, and maybe a unit of extra armored horse archers as well. The point I'm trying to make is that they would be able to outnumber anything that I brought to the field, because they'd be able to occupy all of this ground. I could probably occupy up to about here, plus have enough to maybe contest the cavalry battle here, although I'm worried about those Roman lancers. And then I'd be vulnerable to flanking attacks coming across here, or if I try to fortify my position here, difficult seeing as my opponent controls the hill, the Roman cavalry are going to come thundering through this flank. They'll smash apart what I can muster here, and then the infantry will end up being surrounded before they can break through. And so I don't think the Huns have enough to keep all potential parts of the Roman army occupied. So I'm going for something completely different today. The Romans do have some good medium cavalry options. They have medium infantry options. They have the Auxilia Palatina. They can take up to 3 units of those, and those are superior mediums. So you normally wouldn't want to come anywhere close to those on rough ground. However, I'm going to have to confront them today. We have some units of irregular foot backing up, so that's only 5 units of mediums. And where the Roman weakness really lies is in their light wing. They can take some light I suppose my opponent really threw his weight into his nomad light horse archers. He could bring enough light horse to counter my own wing of horse archers out here on the rough ground a little bit. But I don't think he's going to commit all those resources to the cavalry battle over here, and that's because you'd have to be nuts, I think, to bring a massive wave of, well, maybe not, but I think you'd have to really anticipate a strategy like this if you were going to bring a large number of light horse here. So I'm expecting that instead he'll probably have some light horse on this flank, and he'll probably bring his mediums. That's only 4 units of medium cavalry and 2 units of 4 units of skirmishers and 2 units of horse skirmishers. And I'm planning to commit all of this to the battle, plus I've got my horse archers coming up behind. And the idea is that they are going to quickly take control of this area of the battlefield, basically shell the enemy medium foot with arrows. We're going to blast them apart with arrows. We're going to quickly get the Roman medium foot off of this part of the battlefield, and then I'm actually going to, once the medium foot are neutralized, it's going to become a heavy versus heavy battle on rough ground, and this is where my horse archers and warbands may be able to get an advantage over the heavy Roman line. I'm going to win the battle over here. I'm going to use my light forces and maybe some of my horse archers to force Dan off of this hill and out to fight, and I'm going to try and force him into a battle in this garden of rough ground. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Now Dan could counter that by using his heavy troops to just shove my horse archers off of this side of the map. That's what the warbands are for. I'm hoping to position them along this line here, and also position a unit on this rough ground. And the idea is that will slow down and create obstacles for his defensively minded heavy foot, and also create obstacles in case my opponent tries to clear them away with lancer charges. And that will provide cover, hopefully, for my horse archers to either pop out and start harassing the advance, or else fire from behind the positions or sweep around from the positions that these warbands give me. So that's the idea. I'm going to try to drop a defensive line here, and if the situation is good, I can surge out and attack and use my horse archers to really drag these heavy infantry through the brambles. And if Dan tries to attack aggressively, my warbands can hold the line, and I can continue to pepper the Romans and wear them down with the lights and the horse archers who can be floating around here, some of them could try and get around here. I could also have a reserve down on the plain, and if any lancers come after me, then they can simply run away and keep them occupied. So that is the plan. It's a very unorthodox plan, and I don't know how well it's going to work, but I think it's better than trying to meet this meat grinder of a Roman army out in the open, and I think it's what we're going to have to do today. So to summarize, the light units move forward, and they will actually be my main offensive arm during this battle. They are to smash apart the enemy medium infantry, and then make this position on the hill untenable, and then force the Romans down into a fight in the rough ground, which I think I am more prepared for than they are. And the warbands will hold key lines to protect us against lancer charges and to obstruct any heavy infantry which try to drive the horse archers off the map. And the horse archers will be in reserve to come forward and just rain hell down on the Roman infantry and the Roman cavalry once they're mired in this bad ground. Or even before. They can also make feinting attacks and then pull back as the Romans come out to chase them. So let's get on with it, and I will be back once I've set up my generals. Okay, here we go. It highlights just how small my army is, that I've actually got perfect command groups. So 3 units to a sub-general and 5 units to the commander-in-chief. Okay, 4 units to in the warband ranks. But overall, this is a very well-led army, and it's simply because it's so small. Most of my might is concentrated in the light forces. So let's see what my opponent's brought, because it is my turn. Okay. Well, that's what I want to see. This area of the battlefield is uncontested for the moment. No sign of his mediums. They're probably in the woods. Right, so we'll move forward quickly. And I think an early battle with his light javelin horse is actually something that I want to invite. Because let's try and take control of some of the ground while we can. What did we see? He's got troops out here. He's probably got troops. As I said, he's probably got cavalry coming around this side here. But hopefully, and he's got his mediums out of position. That might be useful. On the other hand, that might also mean he can hold them in reserve. And beyond that, let's move the light cavalry first. Start to move them over the rough ground so that they can be in position for an attack. Just more of his army coming into view. So he's got some nomad light horse archers as well. I need to be careful of those. And but again, I've got the fierce variety, so we should be able to beat them in a melee. And there's not much sign of much else at the moment. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do. It's interesting, if he doesn't move up to contest this hill, I need to decide what to do, because I was expecting to be much more aggressive, and I was expecting to push up onto this ground with medium foot and archers to defend it, but instead he's hung back, and I might want to hang back and let my archers get to work. After all, my plan is to drag him out of this cozy formation and make him come out. But if he's going to let me take this hill, I'm almost wishing I'd brought some lancers now, because if my warbands can get up to here and hold the line here, then I can attack along this axis here and around his flanks, and then his army would either have to swerve to confront that, or they'd have to try and swing around, and then they've got this hill in the way. But I don't think I really have enough warbands to guard this entire area. He's probably not going to stay in this configuration anyway, so I'd suggest let's just move forward for the moment. I think I'll actually swerve out into the open for now. Keep these units back here in reserve so that if I'm expecting mediums to emerge here, and we might want to move up our horse to support. And the warbands can just move off for now and start to move towards their positions. But I might have reason to review my initial plan. Okay, next turn. Right. So he's pulling back, but now he's on the down slope, but he's protected by his archers. Ah, now they're on the hill. Right. Curious. So he is moving up onto the hill. Wow, he brought a lot more light cavalry than I was expecting. Which isn't good for me because my strategy was based around him not bringing light cavalry. Well, let's have a look at his army because I might want to readjust my strategy now. Okay, he does actually have quite a lot of lancers. But he's got a lot of shooting capability as well, which is what is worrying me right now. Well, let's see how the battle evolves. We've now... right, so unfortunately, I didn't manage to goad him into attack here. I have managed to take this ground here. Right. We need to be careful advancing here now. What we need to do is clear this tree line so that... I'm actually thinking maybe we need to come in from... because he'll start to move up onto this hill, so what I need to be ready to do is start contesting his control of this hill here. With the light troops, I need to win the battle against his lights, but because the lights are on top of a mountain now, they'll have a melee advantage over us. Starting to wonder whether I should just abandon this plan and do something else, because I still have time to redeploy. Give me a moment while I think about this, because it's changed the situation radically. Okay, for the moment I'm going to go for a cautious advance towards the hill. However, I think I'll keep most of my troops in reserve. He'll be bringing his light troops forward, so I need the troops ready to go forward and join the harassment. Let's see, now I don't want to move to here because then he can shoot these archers. So instead I will start to move my troops into this area here. Turn them to face. So I'm mindful of those javelin horse up on the hill. But we're starting to come into a position where I can challenge his troops from the hill. I want to weight my flank against these against these troops here, start to shoot them up and start to roll up his skirmish line. And I've got the medium horse and my troops waiting in reserve to support that attack. Let's see, they can ride forward and shoot this unit, so it needs to pull back for the moment. In fact, I actually haven't fully decided. What they can maybe do is ride down onto the plain. No, we need to try and do things with the lights right now. Bringing forward the mediums themselves is a last resort. We're seeing as they are within shooting distance. Pull back just a little bit so that they can only be shot at with a single volley. We'll come forward as far as we can. And these units just advance as normal. Right, next turn. Right. So I'm nervous about this because last time I picked an unorthodox strategy against Harvey LH in a tournament, it didn't end very well. So I'm hoping for a slightly happier ending this time. So that's going to be a linchpin to his line, but he's supporting it with nomad light horse archers. Right, how do I dispose of these threats? Well, that's obviously not a good idea. I don't want to move my troops forward unsupported. Those horse archers there and the Limitani could be quite exposed. If I can sweep around the flanks fast enough. The hill should protect our troops for now from the worst of those. What I'd really like is to have my javelin around to support against the nomad light horse archers. The problem is I need to get a move on because he is moving around and adapting to the situation. Right. Okay, so he's got light javelin horse as well there. Now I could just stand off and pepper the light javelin, I suppose. But I'd like to use my ammo efficiently. And I'm on a clock because these units here will move forward and attack me eventually. This isn't going as well as I'd hoped. It's because he's I'm starting to wonder if this was really a realistic idea. At least move into a position where we can threaten an attack there. And move these fierce nomads out to focus on the cavalry battle. So I can potentially move my nomads up to support. I think we'll start towards our positions now. Problem is he's not put his medium foot where I thought he'd put them. I thought that he'd put them over here, but he's stationed them out in the middle of the battlefield. And it's just a case of my expectations not meeting up with reality yet again. Players keep surprising me. Next turn. The weird thing is that after recent events in the other match, this is now the match I'm feeling most confident about. Oh good, he came off the hill. That might actually help my position a little bit. I was really getting quite worried about trying to launch a hell assault here. Game's lagging a little bit. Uh-oh. That's good. Uh-oh, here come the slingers as well. Can't quite get hit there. I thought he'd remain in a defensive position, you see. I didn't think he'd be that aggressive. Okay, well, we've stood our ground so far. Because if my plan is going to work, at some point we have to withdraw back towards the rough ground. But I might want to moderate my strategy. Right. Well, this is what I wanted. His light forces have exposed themselves to fire. So let's make sure that we win this skirmish. So do I risk using one of my medium troops now? Not unless it's absolutely necessary, I think. I don't think it's absolutely necessary yet. See, so they'd have to step to there to hit this unit with missiles. Problem is, of course, that he's fighting downhill while I'm fighting uphill, which makes my life a bit more difficult. And it's really not the light javelin who are the biggest threat to me right now. That would be everything else. Well, I'll pull this unit. That means firing at half volley. I'm trying to use my ammo efficiently, because I know I'll need it for the rest of the battle. Let's try and go for the disrupt using our cavalry. Good. Okay. Now once again, to use my forces efficiently. And also, I don't want him to be able to use any of his ammo effectively either. If I scoot around here, can I hit it? Well, I can hit this unit. That's good to know. There's not much my other units can do at the moment. And because this forest is covering his troops, I might be better off backing off for the moment, letting him launch an attack against the skirmish line, and then I bring my skirmishers back into the fray. Now thankfully my layout of my forces here prevents him from launching any charges against my infantry. I'm also aware that he's moving up his ranged troops. Okay, so right now all of his troops need to move to fire except for the eastern archers. I want to keep it that way. Moving into the forest for cover. Or really? We can't. Oh right, these are light javelins. These are light javelins. Okay, let's see if we can get a flank attack on the eastern archers. And I'll use the hill for cover. Okay, so they're still standing. And so we'll just have to pull back. No, I'm trying to be disciplined here. No saying, well, what if we shoot them really, really hard in the face? No, we're fighting. We're half trying to defeat the light infantry and half trying to conduct a fighting retreat. And so I have to show some discipline here and stick to the plan. So actually, no, pull the light cavalry back for the moment, so that they can support as his troops try to attack through this narrow gap. Because the reason I originally sent them out this way was with the assumption that he was going to stand still. But if he's coming out to attack, then I'm going to pull my cavalry back and make life difficult for him that way. And now we've got our main line in reserve, so let's start to execute our strategy. So hopefully Dan at this point is still wondering what the heck I'm doing, and doesn't really have too much of a strategy of his own at the moment. I think we do need to start moving towards the rough ground. I need to start executing my strategy. And we'll keep these units back for the minute. But if this army threatens, I'll probably fall back and try and draw them off. The idea, so if I can split a large part of the Roman, if he goes after me with too much, then I'll run away, and if I can split a large part of the Roman army off, that'll be great. That means I can focus on bringing down these other units. Next turn. Come on, guys, don't run to Narnia. Oh, I was hoping oh no, I was hoping with the uphill slope we'd be more protected than that. Oh, that could ruin my entire plan for the battle. That's a catastrophe. An entire unit of light archers. I'd almost have preferred to lose one of my heavy units and my fierce nomad horse archers. This is the problem with trying to play defensively. I'm trying to move back and fight at the same time, and it's incredibly difficult to manage. God, never mind defeating the heavy force, I can't even get past the lights. Oh, the hell, I do have some hope. Problem is he's got medium troops moving up in support. God, this is a disaster. Still wondering whether I can charge and then flank them, but at this range that's not likely to end in good things. This is starting to feel like the semi-finals, themed event semi-finals all over again. I tried to come up with a quote-unquote clever strategy and it just doesn't work. Of course, because they're light javelins. Napoleon, you can't use them like that. My light horse needs to get on with it, otherwise my archers are doomed. I think they're doomed anyway. I don't see them surviving this situation. Need to try and disrupt them. Come on. Give me something to work with here. Okay. That's something at least. These guys ran off into the back of beyond. I need to focus down this flank because I'm not winning over here. These guys have been disrupted. They need to get out of here. They need to rally up. I need that unit back. But they only lost 12 men and they're already disrupted. Right, let's try and turn in such a way that we place some pressure on him as he advances against us. And that's not going to work. Still want to move to there and there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll need to fall back and then come at them again from another angle. Okay, start setting up. And these units remain in reserve. I don't want Dan to be aware that I'm planning to pull these units back until I'm ready to, until he's got closer to this area. Now that I look at his force, his heavy force is actually a bit more vulnerable than it looked before, I think. I think I do actually have quite a large number of horse archers compared to his cavalry. But the light battle is not going well. Next turn. Oh, great. I need Dan to start blowing some morale checks soon. Just bringing up the Roman Auxilia Sagittariorum to support. At least I seem to have driven off a unit of his eastern archers. I suppose a unit brought out the fight is as good as one that's routed. Let's see. This could be a valuable disrupt. He's got these units threatening me now as well, though. Now at this stage, I'm going to have to start using my mediums. If only to try and protect my light units. Again, another whole farm. I can't get rid of these guys. Right, because I moved them away. Of course, having made that decision, I immediately pay for it. Why can't we side? Oh, of course, there's no arc of fire because of the woods. That's a bad melee to be caught in. At least turn back and try and shield ourselves from any attack there. I'm trying to engage. Just stopped short. Okay, that should at least allow us out of melee combat with these Auxilia Palatina. What a mess. We were so close to catching those guys. So that Nomad Light Horse Archer unit is now a serious threat to my archer, so I need to bring in my mediums to back them up. Of course, the javelin are still a danger to me. How are we going to extricate them from this, though? Don't want to move. We don't want to use our cavalry in the forest. I might be able to bring my light archers up to support next turn. Right, you guys form up, and we'll use this this area as a fortress from which to sally out against the enemy cavalry. I'm certainly wishing I just fought a regular field battle now. Let's see. They can back up if they need to. This is shaping up to be a disaster. Next turn. Of course, now that I've exposed my medium units, and they take casualties a lot more quickly than the lights. I completely forgot to move them, didn't I? I have got to stop playing when I'm tired. Last round, then I'm going to bed. Right. At least that's him now on the downward slope. Now I can't fall back without taking a cohesion test, because the heavy units have caught up with me. God, we've done almost nothing to his lights. That's good. At least we've got at least we've got a unit of light archers back. Maybe they can rally up. Right, move off to the trenches. Right, don't start off by using the mediums. Right, that helps. No. Ah, they're completely pinned in. That's just throwing the unit away. Right, throw hell at those. I'm not getting my wish for a disruption, am I? If I move out, can I turn to face? No, I can't. I just realised you can charge out the forest anyway. Charge here would carry us straight into the mouth of danger. And that might actually help. Okay, that's something. Right, now I can trap them in the woods. Move up here to entangle them further. Actually, that would have been the smart thing to do. Charge at them now, and they will probably retreat behind. And I might even catch them in the back. But if they stand their ground, we're in trouble. Come on, catch them, catch them, catch them. Yes! Okay, they shouldn't stand long. Uh-oh, 1, 2. Don't think the light cavalry will be able to catch them because of the forest. Right. How hard did I have to work just for that? That's asking for trouble. Can he charge these units? No, I think he can if he moves to here first. At least this light javelin unit is starting to lose some of its manpower. And the light javelin will give us, the rough ground will give us some protection against their light horse. And Dan does have to be a little bit careful now because he's starting to move into a position where my lights are supporting my troops. So hopefully as he starts to file into this area, this is actually kind of what I planned, because as he starts to file into this area, I can charge out and confront him with my other horsemen. But only if I can drag him through the ferns a little bit further. I'm hoping that I have managed to kill quite a lot of his soldiers. So I'm hoping that as he advances, his army will start to run out of steam a little bit. I've got one unit of my medium horse back into cover at least. Next turn. I can't get rid of any of them. I'll be able to lay down some supporting fire for my troops here. This relentless advance of light troops is something that I'm really struggling to deal with. Okay, that'll help. Some of our units can rally up. Okay. See if we can get fragmentation here. Good. Okay, that's something. But we're probably going to end up pursuing them off the map. Clobber them with a shot from the foes. We can't get into the open ground because of the way we're zone of controlled. That's me now low in ammo with those archers. Good. That was enough to push them over the edge. Now these nomad horse archers threaten everything. Pull these units out. I'm going to have to draw them back, unfortunately. Need to pull back and defend against those nomad light horses. That caused almost no damage whatsoever. And then our fierce nomad horse archers still have a way out of this area. Let's see. It's a shame they don't run the other way. Try and bring in a unit here to... Good. That's a disruption. Okay, that helps. And this is ugly. But we're protected by the units. Well, at least until the skirmishers charge. And for the moment, all these units can really do is try to limp away. Okay, just try and set up defensively. We are starting to cause some damage to the Roman army now, and I still have all of this threatening. Turn them around so they can pop up here if they need to. We can potentially ambush this entire line as it comes forward or cause it difficulties. The cataphracts are going to be troublesome though. Okay. Next turn. Right. Okay. Oof, those mediums are in trouble. Okay, that's something. Hopefully this will let me start to extract these units from the situation. Oh good, and my fierce nomads came back. He's moving in his own troops now. Okay. At least they're disrupted by the forest. Maybe I can do something to him. And the heavy legio committed tens aren't a problem, but the auxilia palatina will be a nuisance. Great. But they've not got much steam left. Let me check the casualties overall, see who's suffering worse in the casualties department. Yeah, we've taken worse casualties. What about the overall size of the armies? And we're outnumbered, which isn't good. So I am losing overall. But we can extract this unit now and pull it back towards the edges where I was hoping to fight the battle. Of course, I was hoping to fight it with less opposition than this. Good. Okay, and it's a shame I don't have anything to break it. So I can see that those cataphracts are threatening to charge through the gap here. I could try and charge here and drive them back, but they probably wouldn't fall back. They just absorb the impact from light archers. So it's not really worth doing just to try and kill off these light javelin foot. These guys have to pull back. Okay, good. I should have given them the general. And just to reinforce that idea, I'll give them the general so that they can withstand future barrages of fire. Should I try and remain here? Those units are getting temptingly close to auto break. And if I could cause some disruptions amongst the enemy skirmishers, it's not quite enough to finish them off, but if I add in the fire from these guys, who only have a few missiles left anyway, excellent. Okay, we're starting to see some holes forming in the Roman lines, and we still have the protection of this rough ground, so we're starting to wear down the Roman light infantry. Seeing as they're disrupted, they should probably be on the rough ground actually, because that will also disrupt the enemy light cavalry, making it an even fight again. And we can move these light archers around to support. So while our overall cohesion compared to the Romans is probably lower, we've managed to get some critical gaps in the Roman line. And also, if I move my troops back now to to defend, because they have to defend those light archers and the Roman auxiliary Sagittariorum, so just flitting this unit of fierce light horse archers around should force Dan to commit resources to keep me busy, and I'll just flip some annoying casualties at the Roman Lancers. It's only 5 men dead, but it's a start. I'll start to move them around the flanks as if we're going to try and get behind them. Hopefully they'll rally up and they'll become more useful as the battle goes on. And they are getting a little bit close, we'll back off. Maybe not that far, but just take a step back with everyone. Here. Okay. Next turn. Ooh. That's a blow, they were vulnerable. Very dangerous, very dangerous. That's going to be a disruption. Okay, well they should just fall back, but that's still going to be painful for my fierce nomads. Okay, thankfully they didn't actually lose battle. It's quite often for heavy infantry to actually inflict a lot of damage on caught light infantry. They're dying quickly now. Yeah, we can't take much more of this. Oh my goodness, and there's more. Though it does give me an idea. A desperate idea. Probably not one I'm willing to throw a general away on. And it is drawing his cavalry off. You sure you want to do that, Dan? Oh, he's moved in to block them. Which means I can't charge his nomads anymore. Good, exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, let's take a look. So, this is a bother. Because now that they are there, I can't charge out to confront. I was hoping I could potentially get a line towards his Roman auxiliary Sagittariorum. That's probably why he did this. Okay, so I think we'll ride away into the forest for the minute, because I know there's no light troops around. Now, I've got those cavalry to worry about, and I think they can actually charge me. And the thing is, light gentlemen can just run into the forest. And I think my flank might actually be open if we're not careful. I'm still going to go for it. I think I can break them quickly. They've chosen to stand their ground. Oh, great. Nope, fell right into Dan's trap. If you're wondering why I'm often so risk averse in this game, it's because whenever I try to take a gamble like that, it usually doesn't end up panning out for me. I usually just end up getting myself into bother. And because of this situation here, I might just have to let all of this go. Dan's really got me in a bind here. Okay, you guys come out of there. We'll shoot down these nomad light horse archers. Try and cause them some damage. Now if the if Dan wants to come forward, he's going to have to deal with this mess of rough ground. For the moment, I think just pull them right back. And actually, while you're there, take the general with you, because we're going to need as much help as we can get back here. So this is where the bulk of his forces seem to be coming in, but if you look, he's not actually got that much. See, that's quite a weak unit of lancers. It seems to be under strength. So I'll start picking away at that. They only had 228 men at their height. And just draw the cavalry back. Very much a guerrilla form of warfare here at the moment. Okay, fine. If he's going to take those archers off me, and they did only have one turn of ammunition left, then I will at least get some concentrated fire in on those massed archers there. Hopefully I can functionally take them out of the fight. Right, this is dangerous. I need to move away from the situation entirely, because those nomad lights are threatening to come in, and because they're swordsmen capable, I can't try and fight them off with my light javelinmen. Let's experiment for a second. Can I move straight back? Right. I do have a plan here. Okay. Right, in that case, I think for the moment we just pull back. Right back, and now we set up a defensive line along here. And Dan's managed to break through here. Unfortunately, he'll be able to get the upper hand. I might try and these fierce nomad horse archers have been cut off. They're going to have to just stay alive for as long as they can. We'll lose this unit here. We'll probably end up losing these fierce nomads as well. I'll try and make use of their arrows at least to continue the wearing down battle. But hopefully we've basically disabled this nomad light horse archer unit, and yeah, we'll just see how it happens. The Roman army does seem to have less heavy elements than me, so maybe things will improve as we move into the heavy fight. Next turn. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Good charge. Well, I suppose if they break instantaneously, we might have a chance. Yeah, that's a break. Uh-oh. Can't believe how quickly Dan got his medium foot up here. He's moved his cavalry along the ridge so I can't move in and interfere with the situation. And he's zone of controlled this so I can't I would have liked to counterattack here with my... Oh my... Oh, of course, because that's on rough ground. Right, give them the general. And we're going to hit this unit of Auxilia Palatina with everything we've got. Okay. No such luck. Just realised I can move out to wall off this area of rough ground. Those light javelinmen, by their unlikely rally up and stand, have destroyed my fierce nomad light horse archers, which is a very sad sight to see. How do I turn this around? Move these units out of the way, can I charge? Okay, that's important to know. I might be able to break them quickly. Okay, here's something we need to acknowledge. Those Legio-Committed are moving around to our flank. And they'll be there next turn. Right. Let's have a think about that. It's really not where I want to place these units, to be honest. But I do need to have something ready to try to intercept a flank attack on this warband now. If this unit moves to here. I'll be blocking the paths. I can potentially take to shield that area. So how do I... They will be on the rough ground though, so I might be able to do something with that. So I can potentially engage and then move up this unit to protect my flanks. But it's going to involve using the light troops to engage anything that gets onto this rough ground to try and block our cavalry from protecting the flanks of the warband. And nope, wrong unit. Well, I'm not really looking forward to getting charged by these noble lancers. So I think we do now need to move up and threaten with our nomad horse archers. So as that line of cavalry comes in and tries to support this attack here, it's now going to get hit by my reserves. And the first targets will be the... well, I'll have to decide at the time, probably either the noble lancers or the nomad horse archers. And hopefully we just have to try and get out of the way of the armoured noble lancers. As for this situation here, which is not good. Unfortunately, it's one of the stronger units he's still got available to him. If I try and move up here to fire, then these armoured horse archers can come charging through the gap, which is not good. What I can do is accept that they're going to break, and then hopefully when the Roman Lancers come through next turn, we can hit them with our reserve troops hiding around here. And I think, all things considered, that is what I'm going to do. For the moment, we'll just fight a holding action against the Roman cavalry and infantry. So I think it's this wing here that's going to have to decide it. That, and we've got some troops here which can help. And hopefully something here will come good. Try and fight them off. Hoping to at least cause some casualties from this. Right, well at least we got a disruption out of it. And that unit was dying anyway, it didn't have much strength left. Still painful though. Next turn. Okay. Yeah, there goes my poor cavalry. Ugh. Well, they won't last much longer now. Ooh, loss on impact! Did not expect that. And he's moved the cataphracts through, but now the cataphracts are stranded in rough ground. So that could help. Don't know why this game seems to be moving very slowly for some reason. I'm not sure if the problem's on Dan's end or mine or what's going on. And that's actually a very long and intimidating line of cavalry. And he's been wise enough not to charge into those fierce nomad light horse archers because they're already dead. There's no point in doing anything else to them. And he's still making use of his light troops, though that's not going to do much against the warband. Yeah. This warband at least can stand up to this for as long as they need to. But the fact that we're outnumbered in terms of horsemen is troubling. That is extremely timely. Right. Let's see what we can do now. How bad are things here? Not great, but not awful. It could be going worse. You know, this unit... well, that's obviously dangerous. I think I will general up here. And I'll let these lancers through, because I think these Roman lancers might run into a little bit of bother. And that is exactly what they've done. Oh, now I wish I hadn't moved that general. Because for this flank attack to go through, I need these units to not bounce off. They lost on impact. Okay, but that's a disruption. But that does mean I can still get the flank attack. And that's a fragmentation. Okay, good. And now we can keep the flanks covered and we can win here. And that's me got an advantage here. He's still got these units in reserve though, but that's the first real break I've had this battle. Oh, okay, so this flanks threat situation. I could be really rotten and I could block my cavalry in, but I'm not going to do that. I'm really trying to swear off that kind of strategy. So I'm just going to have to take the chance and try and lock them down. It didn't work. It didn't work and now we're dead. Here at least. Now I could get a flank attack here if I can get these units to stick. I could lock my troops in. I mean, it's a self-imposed penalty. But no, I'm going to try and do the right thing and, well, quote unquote, the right. And it actually paid off for me that time. Sometimes you just need a bit of persistence. And now I can get a flank attack in against these troops, these auxiliary Palatine. Now that sets up a flank, so obviously I have to take action to save myself from that. If I could disrupt those lancers, that would help. Because I can't move my warband into the right... Oh, if I kept that unit back, maybe I could. Because I could have slid them over and moved them into face. I could still try that. Because 50... They can probably stand up to a lancer attack. It's a shame my general's engaged currently. And is about to get flanked. I just realised I could probably have brought this unit up, couldn't I? Instead of trying for the light trick. See, I could have moved them out the way and scooted them into position. Oh, now that I see that, that would have been such a better thing to do, and I could have done it before. Oh no. Short-sighted. But I've got my commander-in-chief here. So yes, I can defend my flanks. It's going to be awkward, but I can actually protect the flanks of this unit. And actually, because we've got this patch of open ground, I might not be able to stop this flank attack, but I can set up so that if he charges and this unit endures, I can send a flank charge through these patches of open ground to hit them in the sides. So I can do the next best thing. I can't shut it down, but I can block it off, but I can threaten to punish it. We probably do want our skirmishers to try and hold their nerve here a little bit. These guys disrupted when the unit broke, didn't they? Curses. Okay. This is hard, really, really hard mental work to try and work out how best to protect myself from the situation. The archers aren't really achieving anything by standing there, there anymore. Unless he decides to try and charge, but then again I probably want to encourage him to try and charge out because that will give me an advantage. So I suppose I'll move my units away just in case he decides to shy away from the flank attack for whatever reason. Okay. These units are weak, but honestly I'd rather act as a distraction here and try and soften up these eastern archers. Okay. We're covering that square now, so I won't get immediately flanked if the cataphracts come charging through, and that could actually set up a flank attack he could get hit by. Do I want to throw them in as well? No, not with those kinds of impact odds. This unit should move and get ready to come around to help the main archer battle, I think. Speaking of the main archer battle, I need to try and get a disruption here because my line is outnumbered. Or do I just hang back? So let's see, they try and charge here. Or they try and hit me here, actually. Right, that reminds me, give them the Commander-in-Chief. Because we are going to be defending a downhill charge if they decide to just slam into us. Turn around so they can at least turn to the side and fire. So hopefully I can do something with the situation. But it's not very good leaning in like this. Kind of in an off-putting position. Let's see, can I move in such a way that I can turn and fire and still threaten this line? Well, okay, let's do this for now. And actually, do I want to come out and try and focus fire on this weakened unit? So that would leave a gap here, but I've got cavalry that can come in to fill that. You can always drop back and try and bring these units around to guard this side here if he does charge and lock his troops in. So I do have options. But it means coming to the foot of that hill, and that's not a very comfortable position to put myself in. I'd rather he had to come down to confront me. Turn like that so that they're threatening the flank. That way that unit's involved in the fighting as well. Facing the other way, they weren't really doing anything, or forced them to bring those nomad lights forward to pin this unit. The problem right now is he can just ride all of his lancers forward and he could potentially lock Baden, but then he might be exposing his flank to me. In fact, because they're just within charge range, I can't safely back off. I was hoping to maybe give myself a little bit of time, and that way if he swept forward to try and engage me, I could threaten the line. But that's not going to be. We have to hopefully get a breakthrough here. And I might also, even if this unit breaks immediately, because they're now locked into combat, aren't they? Damn it. Too much going on. Right, never mind. Resolve our melee. At least we'll cause some casualties. And the situation sucks. Well, they might rally up actually if they can survive another turn. I have my doubts, but we'll see what happens. I'm losing this now. I firmly believe I'm losing this. But there's a chance for a comeback. Next turn. Bad timing. Of course, very good time for Dan. Wow, that's been a cool flank attack off screen. Really would have been cool to see it on camera. Yeah, they fragmented, but they didn't break, which is critical. Okay. There we go. So that's important. That's a unit of... Oh, and the... Uh-oh. This could really be quite bad for Dan here. Right, well, it petered out there, and there go my damaged fierce nomads, but that was a lot to get out of an almost obliterated unit of fierce nomads, so I don't mind losing them like that. Question is, can we get turned around before these lancers are upon us? Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. These guys will need to be pulled out, but it means more ammo's being drained from these horse archers. I'm surprised that Dan didn't charge... Oh, of course, because I'm covering the square. Because I was a little bit surprised that Dan didn't charge in to break the fragmented unit. Right. Still no move from these units of horse. Right, that could be a mistake on Dan's... well... So first things... Well... Okay, here's the thing. I could just charge in here, but there's a chance that if I engage here, I could flank the Auxilia Palatina again, break them, and then my cavalry come through. On the other hand, I think we'll probably stop short. We'll probably end up stuck in this tile here. And so I think I actually want to charge straight in now. And I get incredibly lucky and I break them first time. And that's fragmented them, which means I don't actually need to charge here anymore. I think if I pull my troops back like this, if I go any further I'll have to change angle, which isn't optimal, but it's because these guys might not break an impact, so I might need to bounce off. But since... Okay, the thing is here, Dan's kind of given me the room to do this by not closing me down with his powerful cavalry line. He's hesitated, and that's what's given me the opening to do this here, is because it means that I can now charge him with confidence here. We weren't able to do it. Okay. So now I will unfortunately have to do this, which isn't good for my cavalry. But it does mean I can break this unit now. Of course, now I say all that, now I'm in a difficult position because these are facing the wrong way for flank attack, and my warbands are very vulnerable now that they're moderately disordered, because that's the same as being disrupted. So I managed to get an upper hand here by taking this attack, but it also means these guys are now stuck pursuing. I have no idea when they'll come back or what they'll be hit by. They'll probably get caught by the armoured lancers, and these guys are facing the wrong direction. These units here are about to get hit hard. Now I do still have the cavalry to cover the situation, just about. I have this unit available to me here who can turn around and hit the Auxilia Palatina. I have the Nomad Light Horse Archers who can help. But I'm probably going to lose this warbands now before I can rescue it. Aside from anything else, I need to cover the flanks of this warband. No, I'm not even sure I can actually do that. I could try and charge in and in hindsight, maybe this wasn't the best move I could have made, given my options. Again, I was feeling mean. I couldn't. Well, no, I couldn't lock them down because the armored horse archers are here. So let's see. That unit's about to break, which means we'll need their help. Yeah, I'm actually in a pretty difficult position. Because I really don't want to have to move in and engage on high ground. That's dangerous. But doing nothing means I will lose this warband. Right, we don't have any other choice but to take this, unfortunately. So I'll move my light troops back to where they're protected. Now this could actually work. If I charge out like this, we might overcharge into their backs, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, it didn't start at the back, but it still worked, because they were disrupted. And we get the shock impact from light spear. Okay. And, right, these guys are about to go spilling back. That's probably an auto break at this point, to be honest. Right. Okay, so quite a bit of damage to Dan's army, but that's where the good news for me ends, because I'm going to have to accept a loss here. Okay. Oh, we broke off. That could be important. That could be very important. Put a general on this unit here to try and keep them shielded a little bit. Now, if they can turn around soon, and they should once they stop pursuing, we might be able to get them back into action. Right, is there anything we can do for this situation here that's realistically not going to get us killed? Well, let's see, where's the general for this platoon? That's a good question. Where is the general for this lot? Oh, it's my commander-in-chief, so I moved him onto the warband. Right, it's this unit here that's threatening the flank, so if I can lock the armoured noble lancers down, then I can avoid getting hit in the flank with the warband. Problem is that forces me to engage at a steep disadvantage. And I'm very unlikely to be able to disrupt the armoured noble lancers. What I think I need to do is try and go for a disruption on these nomad horse archers. And if I can do that, then they won't be able to chase away my nomad horse archers. Actually managing that is going to be tricky. What do I move in like this? Can't charge, unfortunately. Because that unit will chase away my horse archers if it charges downhill, and then he can just charge out and hit me in the flanks. So it won't let me rescue this unit. I'd just be moving the rest of my line into a vulnerable position. I think I'm going to have to let them fall. Which isn't good, although the armoured noble lancers, when they charge, could end up in quite a dangerous position. The alternative is I finally go on the offensive myself with my fierce nomad horse archers over here, but I don't. He's got noble lancers waiting in reserve. This situation isn't going to get any better, but at least I seem to be making progress over here. So I don't think I'm very well set up at this point. Kill a few of them there. Still hanging on here. At least we're inflicting casualties. I could potentially shoot my arrows and that would force him into a risky charge. It would basically force him to charge me and try and drive me off. And that would bring him off the hill. Rather than exposing my warbands. I think I'll do that. I think I will actually try this even though it's insane. And incredibly dangerous. But then again, if he only charges one unit, I'll just be left in a shooting match. Downhill. Because what he could, I move up to here and then shoot, and maybe I cause a cohesion test on the armored noble lancers. I'm unlikely to disrupt them, and I turn diagonally with this unit facing this way to try and, well, this unit charges and knocks my nomad horse archers out of the way. Maybe knocks my fierce nomad horse archers out of the way as well, or maybe turns them to flank. No, that's going to be a disaster. I can't do that. I just need to wait, and I'm just going to have to let this unit get hit, unfortunately. Much as that pains me to do. So, okay, after all of that, next turn. Okay, expecting this to be a pretty grim turn for me here. Oh no, the archers. Okay, so they're bound to have a role in this. Well, he can move there, actually. Because my fragmented units can't charge, and I can just charge and break them before my cavalry can do anything. Yep. Absolutely zero surprises there. Amazingly, they held on. So that won't affect the fight with Legio Committed Tens, other than the fact that we're now in a 2 against 1 situation. He has rather exposed his lancers by moving there. This is going to sting. I didn't see those archers. And now we're trapped on the rough ground. Well played. Yeah, he's now coming in for the attack. Concentrated fire. Well planned. And he's going to come in for a third attack. And that's curtains for us. I could possibly have kept the situation under control. Look at that, they glide in, keeps my light archers who have been threatening the entire time under control, and now I'm in real trouble. Ah, that was a perfect time for a rally. Okay. Well, some good fortune at least. Let's see if... Well, the thing is, he's about to drive me off the Limitani. And the hill advantage isn't going to help. Hill advantage he has isn't going to help. There's not a lot I can do about that, truth be told. These guys are idiots. They're chasing shiny things. They're off chasing shiny objects. Let's see. Things are moderately disordered here, which means I can't charge out. I can, of course, return fire of my own, but that's not very effective at this stage. If we get really lucky with the javelin throw, we might cause a disruption. No, I can't cause enough casualties. That could work if we can stay in melee. Good. Of course, I'm very likely to lose them soon. But before I do any of this, I should be finding out if we stand the ground at all. So this disruption is a disaster. So our only move here is to shoot those lancers in the face. Aha. Oh. We want to be facing this direction anyway if those armored noble lancers are coming through. Held firm, come on. Okay, turn here and fire. Right, that didn't add much, did it? But this might. Couldn't get it to disrupt. This isn't actually as bad as it looks. It really does depend what happens here. But I can't stop another flank. No, I don't think he can flank from that position. Okay, yeah, I think we're alright for the moment. For a given version of alright, obviously this position is pretty terrible. See if we can disrupt this unit here. Okay, that's something. Do I just rain fire down this turn? Or what I probably want to do here is engage in melee. And that at least might protect our archers if they can stay in combat. Thing is, I think he can flank around to attack this unit here if I don't engage. I suppose I can turn to protect that square. Right, protecting this square here becomes a priority now. I need to hope that my noble lancers stand firm. If I charge in here, then this unit can charge. And then that could lead to that square being loose. Okay, I need to try and keep all this tied down long enough. Oh, and then he moves. It's the archers. The archers will get us. I can't do that. Oh, what a shame. Well, if the situation can remain stable for a little while. But, Also, if he engages here, so what are our chances on impact? We actually have some chance in prolonged combat here, so I am actually going to engage. Because the Auxilia Palatina will be vulnerable to getting ground down. I know I won't be able to get these units into the back, but at least it gives me something proactive to do. And what I really need to do here is start getting around, try and allow the light troops to work together to bring down this Limitana unit. Because we've still got some ammunition left on these light javelin men. They can do something here. Okay, let's take our punches. Take the worst chance first, so it doesn't get any worse with casualties. Okay, I think that might have been a loss in combat, but we held our ground anyway. Right. And I need to decide what I'm going to do here. Since we have the stronger unit, I will engage in melee here, because we have the best chance. And but the casualties across these noble lancers, they won't be such a big threat to nomad horse archers. This is still an even fight. Kind of. If you squint at it at the right angle. And what to do with these units here? Pull back, I think, because we're not going to be able to get the flank attack because of the archers. But what I can do is try and drag the archers out onto the difficult ground, and then charge them so that they are occupied. In fact, wait a second. No, I wouldn't. There's not going to be any angle for them to engage on, so I'll have to turn around. I'll have to spin around. Okay. And right, I'm just going to turn the recording off while I decide what I'm going to do here. Okay, protecting the square is of paramount importance, and so I will just launch a half arc of fire. And that is unfortunately all I can do for this turn. Next turn. This will be decisive, I think. What happens in this turn is absolutely critical. Okay. Right, he's decided to shoot. That's probably helpful to me, even though that means a fragmentation. Oh, that's not great though. Clearing away my defensive infantry. Will we hold on here? This is the... Oh! Not what I wanted to see. Not what I wanted to see at all. Oh, but that could cost them. Right. And of course that'll give me another chance to shoot. Right, pinning in my fierce nomads. That will cost the archers though. Because we will win that fight, but of course it gives us lancers a chance to intervene. Right, so of course he's moving to lock them in. Now I can attack there. We do have a chance. Oh no! Oh, close. Well, you're going to be seeing, you're going to be hearing all the oohs and ahs today, folks. As well as possibly the occasional ARG. Right. And the presence of these light horse could help. This situation is important. Alright. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to capitalise on this situation. Need to examine everything very carefully now. So this situation is terrible, of course, but because we took casualties, we've lost ground. Now that shouldn't affect combat odds. We're winning here. Right, that helps a lot, actually. Right, follow our plan. Try and get a disruption against these Limitani. Curses, couldn't even cause a cohesion test. This is all gone a bit wrong. So I can't. Okay, so I won't be able to get any flank attacks there then. Wait, yes I can. Yes, I flaming well can. Charge. Charge again. Hopefully we carry them off. Nope, they're only disrupted. Okay. Thankfully our flank, well, the flank of our fierce nomad horse archers is exposed, and that could threaten our entire line. Since we're clearly not going to win here, I need to decide what we're going to do about this situation. We're definitely going to want to try and break these noble lancers. But do I want to do it with fire or sword? Probably best to try and do it with fire just now. Okay. I know it means we'll get driven off, but I'm just trying to wear them down. I won't be able to auto-break them this turn. What do I want to do with these units? Do I want to leave them here to be charged and broken? Or do I want to try something else with them? Problem is I do need to position my troops here to try to... Let's see... Well, I can't. I need to move them forward, even if it means risking. We need to resolve this first. And we instantly lose melee. What did I just say? I'm confusing myself here. Held firm. Oh no! Oh, worst possible place they could have run! And they're going to... Oh, what have I done? I've thrown it away. Tossed my chances and now they're coming through. I'm not thinking. It's all gone to hell. What was I doing? What was that? Okay, never mind. Shake it off. We've lost now. That was a terrible decision on my part. And the worst part is it was so needless. So we've lost all of this now. Just due to a thoughtless decision. I expect better than that from myself. After all these years of practice. Try and maintain the cohesion of our line. Oh, what a disaster. So they'll go right into our backs next turn. It's driven everything out the way. Okay. Moving on. That's okay. Can we see what's going on? Thank you. Yep. Okay. That's not gonna save him. He's really determined to get them out of the way, isn't he? Never expected that. Maybe I can at least get rid of the archers and it might allow me to turn to fight. Okay, that's helpful. I'm actually rooting for Dan here because he really does deserve to win after that. When I made a mistake like that, oh, now our routers are going to, yes, as I said, the routers are going to carry them into the flanks of our troops. Oh, we got lucky. Okay. Ah, we can engage here. Okay, that saves us here. Kind of. Drive off the archers. Good. Now, I could charge in here and that would let me get the flank attack. But then I'd be leaving these units to hit me in the rear. So the question is it worth sacrificing this unit to win here? Well, let's get these flank attacks out of the way first. Because this stuff's a no-brainer. Do we get the fragmentation? Okay, keep trying. Nope. Okay. Break them. Fragmentation, okay. Now if this unit breaks badly and that unit gets carried through, then this will go a lot worse than if I just charge in here and then hit them in the side and I could potentially pick up 2 units here. This unit isn't likely to survive. These units could survive, but if these break through they could hit us in the flank. So I'm making a fateful decision. I could even carry these units out of the way as well. I'm going to charge here. Pray we don't bounce off. Oh wow, we even got a disruption. And now we're going to charge in here and we're going to try and save these horse archers, and it's worked. Oh, just a shame that they held on and we didn't carry through. I expected that to carry through to be a full attack. But you know, they're still pinned in combat. These noble lancers are still in trouble. This could work for us. Okay, so the battle swings again. Right. Unfortunately, they're stuck in combat, which means we're about to get hit pretty hard by the... I can't finish them off, unfortunately. They passed their roll this turn. Let's see, what's best to do? These units are about to get hit hard. Do I have any light troops that could engage? These guys are dead now. Because if I could get round into a position where what I expect, he'll engage here and then he'll attack with the Auxilia Palatina. So I think I'm better off just trying to move in to win the skirmish duel here, because I won't be able to stop this. That's unfortunately just a matter of time now. Much as it pains me to say that. So a step like this, can I turn? No, I cannot. I thought that would be the case. What if I move like this? Okay, yeah. Oh wait, no, because those are my units. No wonder I can't attack there. Because I'm trying... This unit's the more vulnerable unit, so that's the unit I'm trying to get to. Because we're now at a point where even the skirmishers could decide matters. If I move these units back, can they turn? No, they're blocked by the melee that's going on here. But these light javelinmen are quite weak now. And if we can beat the light horse archers, then I'm pretty sure that my fierce nomad horse archers can take care of these limitani. Oh, what to do, what to do. I think we should actually throw one more volley before they get to engage. It's a stationary one, so we can cause a lot of... We got a disruption, that's critical, and now we can turn to face. Now we can turn to face. They're skirmishers. And I can move in to pin the archers in place, and now we've really got them. Please don't let my game crash now. In quite a nasty position. Okay, and oh. Kind of conflicted because we are probably strong enough to take on these armoured horse archers with our expert armoured horse archers due to the fact that we have the better troops, but it is a downhill fight. Given what's happening on the rest of the field and the fact that we are generaled up, because we may soon have troops available to help with this situation. I suppose they can turn. Nope. I am going to turn around and I am going to take this fight, even on the downward slope. I may live to regret that, but that's the decision I'm going to take. We're not going to shy away from this fight. I think we can win it next turn. Uh-oh. Oh, we were so close there. And now he'll be able to turn on me. But superior troops generaled up. They're gonna rally. I should have seen that coming. Once again, the camera is not telling us what's happening here. Right, that was expected. I can hope for a victory and impact here. No, it's not going to happen. And yep, there they are, turning to flank. Crunch. Bash, munch. Oh, they went that way. I was really hoping, rather hoping they wouldn't go that direction. Okay, we'll still get our flank attack in. Good. Okay, good. We pursued in that direction as well. I'm trying to get troops over to this fight here. Interesting. Good. Ah, but they'll pursue. No, we want to kill the Limitani. It's alright, I can do that all day. Ooh. Well, he's managed to get behind me here. And he's managing to evade me so far. Of course, we're pursuing here, so I'm not going to be able to get my troops back. Yep, we have the advantage here, so let's take it. Oh, you know, no bother for these light archers, just holding 2 units of heavy cavalry back on their own. No biggie. Okay. I'm going to try and get the auto break on these. Okay, couldn't do it that time. I should have tried to get the push back here. That's what I should have done, but of course we didn't win the melee anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And they're going to flank us before I can do anything, so the correct thing to do right now is just to focus fire and try and break this unit. And we'll turn around, and I intend to break these Limitani and maybe charge into the back of the Auxilia Palatina. But there's a lot of war score here, and if we lose all three of these units, then we might lose the battle. Okay, what to do? What to prioritize, what to focus on. If I was sure I could auto-break them, it would be worth turning to fire. That might cause a fragmentation, and that would allow me to potentially win here and save my Nomad Horse Archers. But this unit has lower than average numbers of troops in its unit, and I really doubt that's going to actually pan out. So, oh, and they held on. I really hoped that was going to be a fragmentation. So we'll turn in here. I can charge the Nomad Horse Archers, assuming my fierce Nomad Lights hold on. Right. Dan's done a good job of arranging his troops in such a way that I can't cause any more havoc. And if these guys rally up, I could turn around and thump us while the light horse archers are still fighting. Just a couple more units now, and it'll be over either way. Very close game. Next turn. Okay, I expect Dan to pull ahead here. But it depends, can he get to 60%? Yeah, I know by now I'm going to have to do the camera's work for it. Okay, where there's life, there's hope. Held firm, which means the grinding down process continues. Computers continues to be so slow in this battle. I need to hope my men hold on here. They do. Good. Fragmented. Right. Holding our own in the hell battle, that's to be expected. We only have a 30% advantage there. Trying to keep my units running away. Keep their cohesion tests low. Oh, he hid in the forest. Perisher. And I can't quite get in to attack him. Well done. That was one of my trump cards. We've rallied up. Oh, are we facing the right way for flank charge? Oh no, stop pursuing, you morons! How are you still attacking? They're right there! We were so close! Alright. My men are under some kind of magical stupidity spell right now. Can't seem to stop making terrible decisions. I was kind of hoping that they would break off. Let's see. If I can auto-break these guys, they might fragment and I might be able to get rid of all of this. Good. And they broke. Okay. That helps. That helps a lot, actually. My computer is at a crawl for some reason. Ah, they escaped. Well done, well done, Dan, for getting them out the way. Okay, I should still be able to ride away and towards those noble lancers who I'm after. These idiots have got themselves in a horrible state. I'm going to lose this because of some stupid pursuers, and they fragmented in one go. Oh, this is going to really hurt us. I'm going to lose both of these units, and we're going to get hit in the flank. Terrible turn for us there. Turn of events for us there. Ah! But I'm not out of ideas yet. Now we are in position to flank them. And if I can break this unit as well, we can win. We can win. I think we're just about going to do it. It's going to be so close. So unbearably close. If we can't beat them with our heavy cavalry, we'll beat them down with our skirmishers. Okay, we just need... That unit's going to break. We just need to keep the rest of this on the field. Okay. Yeah, so just get them away just in case something weird happens with the light horse pursuit path. Probably best, safest to head for this area here. I trust these guys to win against the nomad horse archers. And anyway, we just need to break a couple more units. Next turn. Oh no. Oh, that one unit of archers. And I think my cavalry are about to do something. Oh. A wave of rallies at the worst moment. Well, we're not out of luck yet. Crunch. They are going to go straight into my fierce nomad horse archers. But they maimed them, they've hurt themselves. Okay. Thank goodness. I thought they were going to fall back and get out of the situation. Well, that helps a massive amount. This could be a draw by turns. Neither of us can fully knock the other one out. I know you're hiding there, Dan. We are coming for you. Right. Oh! Right, that definitely helps. Right, we can go after these archers. It never ends the way you think it's going to in this game. Okay, so yeah, we'll use that unit to charge into the horse archers. Okay, and right, because they were commanded by the commander-in-chief, who is now off the battlefield. Charge here, trying to get the fragmentation. Okay, that helps. Right, so I've got ample opportunities to win the battle now. See what happens here. So if this unit fails suddenly, then I may want to move in to help. Okay, but... And there is still room for Dan to sweep in and get the victory. If he can push either of these units off the field, for example. There is a good chance we could have a mutual 60% to 60% draw here. That is honestly not an... It's actually a likely possibility now. Because this unit here breaks, maybe this unit here breaks, pushes one of these units off the map, maybe catches these in the rear on the pursuit, and yeah, we could easily see a mutual defeat, rout here. Next, which is a real... I always get excited, that's such a rare result. Next turn. Oh. So Dan thinks he's going to lose this now. I'm not so convinced. Not with another rally and another unit back on the field. Oh, and he moved them out the way. How? Oh, of course. No. I'm not sure where my victory is going to come from. I was so sure that was it. And they held firm. Oh, it just goes to show you can never predict what's going to happen in this game. Well... Oh, I see what happens. I'm going to catch his fragmented troop. No, that puts them in the way. That actually throws the result into doubt. No one else is going to rally for me now. I'm out of extra lives. Come on, crawl away. We need to escape. You're not going any farther this way. This could end it, or it could end in disaster. It all depends on what my men decide to do. No! Oh, you idiots! You blind, blooming fools! I've had him... Oh no, I think... Once they fall back, he'll charge, they'll run... Oh no... Okay, I think I've just lost it at the end here. And probably moments away from victory. Yep. Because they get pushed back into charge range and it's over. But maybe they'll stand their ground, we don't know. Dan's asking if it was a missed click, but the reason that happened is because oh good, they ran out the way. I mean, you guys know the reason that happened. I couldn't target that unit. Okay. Something happened somewhere on the field. Oh, he charged my cavalry. I see. Alright, I should win now. The words unnecessary heart attack come to mind. I think I had oh, this is bad. He can pursue me off the map. I need to move around like this, otherwise that'll end in disaster. And of course I'll move them away so they can't interfere. And move our fierce nomad horse archers up to engage. Okay. Hope we don't suffer too badly here. Nail them. Hit the auxilia with everything that we've got left. Okay. But this is the real chance for us, I think. No, couldn't finish them off. I need to hold on for another turn. They are not going to be weak enough to break yet. There is the smallest of small chances that I might break this unit. They are not going to auto-break. I won't cause enough casualties. So many of my units are just trying to limp out the way right now. You know, with that level of casualties, we might just... Oh, so close. That's just been the story of this entire battle, just dancing moments away from killing one another. And every time, it's just... We just managed to cling on. I suppose... Oh, that did it! That did it! That's game! I don't believe it. I didn't think one volley could possibly work, that's why I put it off for so long. Next turn! I can almost... Well... Okay, I'm really not sure where to start talking about that. I think Dan might... Well, the real mistake here, I think, was trying to shoot at my fragmented nomad horse when he could have charged him out the way, and I think that would have allowed him to lock me down better. I forget the exact details, but it prevented me from doing something over here. It would have prevented me from doing something over here. I think he could possibly got the flank in the warband or something. I'm not sure what the details were. Maybe a couple of rash charges. I'm not really sure. It's hard to say. I know I can certainly point to what my blunder was. I shouldn't have resolved this conflict here with the warband until my cavalry were safely out of the way. That almost cost me the match. And it could still cost me the tournament because Snuggle Bunnies has a good shot at surpassing my score here. So that was a blunder on my part. I think I had the right idea that the Huns... I felt vindicated, from the result of the other match, that even when well commanded, the Huns just don't have the strength to beat this Roman army out in the open field. So taking cover amongst the rocks and taking lots of lights and fighting a more guerrilla-style, indirect form of battle was the correct decision. given the circumstances. And it was only the fact that I, tripped up and made a mistake that, cost me dearly in places. So it's a case of thinking outside the box and doing something different, because you wouldn't think of taking an army like the Huns, lots of cavalry and heavy war bands onto rough ground like that. But the thing is, the Romans were disadvantaged by that as well, and so it became a battle for the lights and for the archers. And guess what the Huns have lots of? Lots of horse archers. And in the end, I was just able to slightly outlast them. But it was incredibly close. Dan, that was a great game, one of the best I've had since starting back, and it reminds me of my game against Harvey LH in the classical era division of the tournament, which went right down to the wire. I think I'll end it there. Thank you, everyone who watched this. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the content. I really hope to play Dan again in another match. I know we'll meet again on the battlefield. Let's just go for the review screen, and farewell for now.